Welcome, class and professor, to my Honduras policy prescription video. Let's begin with a little bit of background. Honduras's history is bananas, like literally. Being one of the top exports throughout its history, American meddling beginning in the late 1800s was based around Honduras's many fruitful fruit farms. The power and influence that these American-based companies eventually gained led to a period of time wherein the Honduran government would cater to the well-being of these companies more than that of their own people. This led to significant economic stagnation for the country and economy as a whole. Paired with the rampant American interference we saw throughout the 20th century, it is clear why many people believe the U.S. had a lot to do with Honduras's current issues and state of development or lack thereof. The past decade in Honduras has been riddled with political strife and violence. This has been a byproduct of the 2009 ousting of ex-President Manuel Zelaya of Honduras's Liberal Party. Since this coup d'etat took place, government and military-connected extrajudicial executions and assassinations have been a prevalent issue. Since then, Zelaya has maintained his role in Honduran politics by establishing an entirely new political party called the Libre Party. The party was headed from its inception by Zelaya's own wife, Xiomara Castro de Zelaya, who was its presidential campaign in the 2013 election. The party hadn't gained significant steam until the late 2017 election, when TV personality Salvador Nasralla ran on behalf of the Libre Party against incumbent president and head of the National Party of Honduras, Juan Orlando Hernandez. Hernandez won the election by a small margin, but it is widely believed to have been rigged in his favor after Nasralla took an early lead. This led to widespread political violence as youth and disgruntled voters took to the streets in protest, resulting in the deaths of over 30 protesters. The chief issues Honduras currently faces are not ones that could conceivably go away overnight, even with the implementation of proper policy and the existence of a productive, non-corrupt government. Speaking of proper policy and productive governing, step one in the process of my policy prescription would be the holding of elections that are indeed free and fair. With the current state of democracy in Honduras and the likeliness of election tampering, monitoring by an international third party such as the UN might be beneficial. This has proven to be a successful means of holding legitimate elections in countries that just can't seem to do it themselves, and even countries that are developed such as the US, the UK, and France. A more drastic but tested, though not entirely successful step might be the like of the UN transnational authority that occurred in Cambodia in 1992. In this case, the UN would seize control of the federal government entirely for the sake of running free and fair elections unhindered by the looming presence of a corrupt regime. Even with free and fair elections taking place, corruption is a weed that is almost impossible to kill, as is the issue of gangs and violence, Honduras's other chief hurdle. The influence that gangs already have within most every facet of Honduran society will remain for some time. The best step to take in the long term for solving this problem, however, is to fund education and youth social programs. Again, these are not issues that will go away overnight. Education, however, is one of the only means by which the Honduran people, or indeed any people in the world, can develop as a whole themselves. It has been observed that many people join gangs because of a lack of available jobs. Increased funding in education will eventually lead to more jobs. It may take one or more generations, but a well-educated youth will produce future generations of people that will learn, teach, create, and innovate in the fields of business, politics, technology, art, infrastructure, essentially every field of society. This will provide future Hondurans with options that supersede the allure or perceived necessity of embracing gang life, while diversifying and strengthening the economy as a whole. The last part of my extremely general prescription is the funding of infrastructure development. Not only will this immediately create jobs and a more skilled workforce, but the amount of people having access to clean water and sanitary facilities will increase, leading to a higher quality of life and an increased life expectancy for everyone in the country. Whereas education is the butter and cream cheese, a functioning and efficient infrastructure is the toasted everything bagel on which the rest of a productive society must lay. It is with this ridiculous yet appetizing food analogy that I will end my prescription video. Thank you for watching.